Now we are live. So, anyway, Jessica typed up her notes because she's like super efficient, and she posted them in the group chat on the side. Do you have that, Vicky?
Not her notes. No.
Do you see any of the group chat on?
Where is it at?
If you go to the left, there are all these icons, and at the very top there's one that says chat, and if you click on that, I think the group chat thing will pop up.
Oh, I think you're right.
And Jessica was super efficient, and she typed up her notes. So we have access to those if we want to.
That is great.
And Jessica said that she would be willing to take the notes for our discussion. Was that right, Jessica?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. Okay. So, for our assignment, we need to take turns talking about the points we identified, both the overt references and the more subtle ones. Now, do we want to go through topic by topic, or do we want to just go through everything that we had all at once?
I would assume topic by topic will be easier.
I agree. Does that work for you, Vicky?
The topic by topic, since it's organized, yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, you said topic by topic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Oh, okay. I mean, I see us down in the bottom. Oh, no, it says page not as responding. Oh, wait. I tried to get your notes, but that's fine.
Okay. Well, we'll be discussing them anyway, so we can just go through them.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, she got kicked out. Wait for her link to come back.
Oh, dear.
Hopefully she can jump back on really fast. Do we just want to start talking, or do you want to wait for Vicky a little bit longer?
Well, we have an hour to do this, and I don't really think it's going to take us that long, so I think we could probably wait a few minutes for.
Okay. So, did you have any problems reading this chapter? Because I had some problems because I edit.
Boring.
No, my problems were editorial. I was like, did anybody read this before they printed it?
Did you catch all the typos too? Because I caught about 12.
There were a lot of them, and then there were a lot of ones where they used the wrong words. And you're like, I don't think that that's what it's supposed to say. And then there was like a sentence that just ended in the middle of the sentence and didn't finish the thought.
Yeah, I wonder if this is somebody's like script for a book that hasn't been published yet, or if they just really didn't get a good editorial process.
Well, the way that he was writing about it, it sounded like it was somebody had already published it. But
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he'll hear us talking about it, and he'll be like, if it hasn't already been published, then they can be like, okay, somebody needs to read. Okay. Vicky, you back?
I lost you. My sister. So Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can hear you too, Heidi.
Okay.
Okay.
That
So
is good.
what were you chatting about?
The typos that we found in the reading for
Oh.
this part.
Uh-huh.
I
There was
found
a
a
lot.
few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it made it a little bit hard to read because I edit a lot for work. And so
Okay.
I kept getting stuck, and I was like, okay, keep moving forward. Anyway, so the first topic that you have on your notes is tracking stressors adaptation process over time. Where did you get your headings?
So for what I did to make the notes easier while I went through the video was I went through and I pulled the headings from the chapter, or like the ones I felt like applied, and then I just made comments on how I thought that applied. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one was tracking stressors and coping adaptation processes over time. So do you want to talk about what you found, and then we can each take turns talking about what we found?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Jessica.
Okay. So what I have there on my notes is, so for tracking stressors, we know that Jimmy just turned 18, so now he's an adult. And then his family had just moved across the country, and his dad works all the time. But that's all that I found in like that area.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead, Vicki.
what I found in that area was some strain in the marriage, because mom is focusing so much on Jimmy. Dad doesn't want to deal with it anymore, and so then I noticed that when he was sitting there, he did not put his arm around his wife, but he did around his daughter. Did you notice that? And
towards the end, they did start holding hands, though. I did notice
yes,
that.
at the end. And so there was a totally different demeanor at the end. That was great.
Yes.
And it was just 45 minutes. But I noticed that there was strain there. And also a stressor is that their daughter is going to a new school, and she'll be a senior, and it's really hard to integrate yourself into that. And so the stressor for her is Jimmy doesn't want to spend time with her, and she's fearful that she's starting a new school, because they moved, and that's a huge stress for the family, and it's a stress for your kids to grow up. You guys are too young probably to know that.
Yeah.
But, it's really hard, and that's a lot of pressure on mom and dad, because it's hard to let your kids be a grown-up, and that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that I saw.
I also noticed the stressor of the son graduated. He is out of high school, and he has no idea what he's going to do in the future. That is a huge stressor for him, and the sister is losing him at school. She's no longer going to have contact with him at school. I know that can be a big stressor. And then the reaction that he is bringing out is by staying out with his friends for long periods of time, and the ambiguity of not knowing where their child is a major stressor for the mother.
Oh, that was great. Because I agree with you about the major stressor for the mother is, she just gets mad, but really she's scared to death what's going to happen to Jimmy in a lot of different ways. At work or school, or going out and doing things that you really wouldn't want your child to do.
Yeah.
Notice that.
Let's see, did I catch any other stressors?
I'm going to probably be a little bit quiet, but it's because I'm typing, trying to keep up with everybody, okay?
That's fine.
Oh,
Okay. So the next, anyone else think of any other stressors? Okay. So the next heading is making meaning of crisis experiences and clarifying ambiguity. Do you want to go first again, Jessica, so that you can type and focus once you're done?
Yeah, all I have there is that parents don't have enough information about their son or his friends. So their fear stems from the lack of knowledge of what he's doing and who he's with. So their fears would probably not really exist or be as bad if they had that information of who he's with and what he's doing.
Okay. Vicki, do you want to go next?
yeah, I'll go next. Yeah, I think that Jessica's right about, that being, they don't have enough information about Jimmy. But one thing that I thought about the situation is that Jimmy is the focus for them. But in reality, they have a lot more that's kind of underneath. I mean, the family's made major changes. They probably left friends and family. And then they moved to Rexburg. I mean, that's, well, it's not now as much, but it's a small town, so those, most of the people know each other. And I put down that, what was the last part of that question?
Clarifying ambiguity.
Oh, okay. I think that I wrote that down, but I didn't find it. Writing. So I think that the family coming back to counseling and agreeing to that, and for all of them to make that agreement, because it's tough to get everyone together, shows, I don't know, I guess for each one of them, it shows that they are willing to work on their family and willing to work on, listening to the counselor. And they did show that they listened to the counselor. So that would be what I would say.
Well, one thing that stood out to me for this section is he really took a lot of time to get them to start talking about what's going on inside of them, like expressing that their fear is coming out as anger and that they really do genuinely care about each other. Like he got the daughter to talk about how her love and concern for him is being expressed through her tattling on him and telling their parents what she's worried he might be doing. So he really cleared up a lot of the ambiguity that was between the family members when he was getting them to start talking.
Right, yeah, that's good. I didn't really think of that about that family were able to say how they do care for each other, but I didn't think about how important that piece was, that they left. That may be why they left in a good place, because that they realized how much they care for each other and to commit to spend some time with each other. I think I talked too much.
I think we're all talking a bit much, but that's what we're here for.
So should we move on to the next section?
Yep.
Okay, so that one is helping the family live with uncertainty. And I thought that was important because we know that for Jimmy and for his family, he doesn't really have any direction that he wants to take in his life. He doesn't have any plans. And so that's stressing him out, and it's stressing his family out too.
And also the uncertainty of knowing where he is all the time. I think the therapist was really working towards getting them to come to a compromise where he would talk a little bit more, but he didn't like say that he would tell them where he was going all the time. So there's still going to be some uncertainty about like where he is and what he's doing, but yeah, just the uncertainty of the future.
And I think I thought of that, the uncertainty too, and with them living with that. And you know, Mom soon will be no kids in the house, you know, because her youngest is growing up and a senior next year, and so that's a certain that's an uncertainty that she lives with, and that by talking openly as a family, that's why I thought it was great that he mentioned to get together on Sunday and the counselor and talk about, you know, some of the things. And I thought that that was great because that's a time when things are uncertain. We want comfort, we want stability, and that the parents are not in a great place. And I think when the family comes together, because they seem like a great family, that by doing that they support each other, and I think able to handle the uncertainty a little bit. And you know, it's scary. I mean, I remember when I was 18, it's a scary time in life because you want to be independent, but you also, you know, want to have your dependence on your family.
It's true. You want to be independently dependent.
Exactly. Do whatever I want. Someone take care of me. That's true.
Okay. Okay, so for the next section, it is seizing opportunities in the midst of the crisis. So what I said with that was the parents recognize that they care for each other even though in this situation they felt divided, but we could see through the counseling session that they took the opportunity to maybe strengthen their marriage a little bit, to realize that they're on the same page. Like you said before, like at the beginning they weren't touching each other, and as the session progressed they started holding hands and things. So maybe they felt very divided, and then when they realized why each of them was doing what they were doing, they felt more united.
I think the therapist was also trying to teach them how to seize the opportunity to, like, especially between the father and son, to start talking about how to choose a career and how to figure out what he wants to do with his life, and learning how to skateboard with them.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, but he was trying to show them the opportunities that they had at this turning point in their lives to build on those changes and really learn how to or really take the opportunity to teach each other and have this time be a time where they could grow closer together.
Yeah, I think that was, those are really good. I think I wrote down too about the dad, you know, the therapist, you know, recommending that he, you know, spend some time with his son and maybe go to the skateboard park. And I thought that that was really cute, but I saw the son just kind of change he sat up in his chair better. You know, he wasn't kind of slouched when he first got there. And I could tell that that the father really loves his son, and that that it was a great time for that family to be able to tell each other how they feel, because I would suspect it hasn't happened a lot lately because everyone is mad or upset or scared. So I thought that was a great opportunity. I think the other opportunity, the one I wrote down, is that Jimmy has his life ahead of him. He's in an exciting place in life. And when you're 18, you know, maybe it's an opportunity that the family can come together and support Jimmy to try some things. He doesn't have to get a job and be there the rest of his life, but you know, for him to be able to explore what he wants to do, and he doesn't think he wants to go to school, but that could change. But that's a great opportunity for that family to really come together and support Jimmy.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Mad Max. Is it? You remade it? Yeah, have you seen Mad Max? I've heard.
Okay, are you there? I'm sorry. My husband just came into the room. I had to shoo him out.
Oh, is that what that was? Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Yep, we're here.
Okay, so next one was, and we don't have to get through all of these. We might. I mean, we'll see. But so the next one I had is normalizing family distress. So several times I noticed that this therapist was reassuring the family that what they were going through was normal. Like, the feelings that they were all having were normal. It wasn't like they had this massive dysfunctional problem. It was a problem that a lot of people had, which I imagine made them feel a whole lot more comfortable.
I caught that as well. And he kept restating the things that they had told him to make sure that he had gotten the information correct, which I think helped them see what was going on in their family, as well as making sure that he's got it right. I don't know if that really fits in normalizing family distress. It did in my mind when I started talking.
I think it works.
Yeah, I think it works too. That was good. Are you finished? Heidi, are you finished?
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add.
Okay. So the one thing that that I said was that when the therapist, I liked it when he connected with the daughter by saying that he has a daughter that's going to be a senior, and maybe, or to Jimmy, I'm sorry, that he that she might know him, she might know her, and then he you know, talked to Jimmy about his biggest interest, which is skateboarding, and then when I agree, that was really good that he talked to the whole family and let them know, kind of individually, but as a whole, that, you know, so many families go through that. You know, you're not alone, and you know what, you're going to be okay. And I like that.
Okay. So the next one that I have on here is that, let's see, so using respectful language. I noticed that the therapist did not, he didn't condemn anybody for their attitudes or belittle them. Like, I feel like the little sister, she was kind of sticking her nose in a place where it didn't belong, and he didn't point it out that way. Even though that's, you know, how from an objective perspective outside, we would have been like, you know, you're way overstepping your bounds there. You never did anything to make anybody feel offended.
Yeah, that's something I noticed as well. Like, the first line of that section says, it requires learning the language and perspective of each family. And I think that he took a lot of time, especially at the very beginning, to get them to talk about their perspective of what was going on and how he made those connections with each person. And he really took the time to find out where they were coming from and what their relationship had been like in the past and where they want it to go in the future. And like, just, he took it, like the first 20 minutes it seemed like was just trying to get a handle on what's going on in the family and like how they viewed it.
Yeah, I think what I noticed too is the therapist, just from the minute they got in the door, started validating the family. By one is he recognized each one of them. You know, he wanted to know their name and where they fit in the family. But I too noticed the reflective listening, and also him doing some rephrasing. And he made sure it was clear to the person that told him something that it was clear before he said it to the family. And I think that's something that is, sometimes I think people are born with it, but I think it's a skill that you learn. To have that genuine, you can tell he really cared about people. That's probably as a therapist, but also that each individual, he cared about them as a person and then as a family. And I thought that was great perspective for him to do that.
Yeah, I agree. So I think that also fits in with the next section, the reframing and relabeling.
Yeah.
He took also the time to find something that each person was good at and one thing that each person liked to do. And I think that also fits in there.
I think you're right, yeah.
I put in there that, so for the reframing and relabeling part, so everybody went in there thinking it was a problem with Jimmy, and that it was all Jimmy's fault. Everybody was like, we're here because Jimmy and all of his problems. And then by the time they left, they realized it was deeper than that. Like, they realized that the situation was making them all miserable, not just that it was like bad Jimmy, us versus Jimmy.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that too. And he also taught them that anger and the contention was caused by worry. Uh-oh. You all right, everyone?
I can hear you. Are you guys still there?
I'm here. Vicky?
Yes. Oh, are you still here?
I'm still here.
I am too.
Okay.
Okay, we're all back.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Oh, I don't hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm. I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Heidi, what were you saying? I missed that when we got interrupted.
The reframing and relabeling. he also showed them that a lot of the anger and the fighting and contention that had been going on, it stemmed from worry and love. And I think that that was a reframing job that he did.
I thought, oh, are you still talking?
Nope, I'm done.
You're sure?
Yep.
The only thing I really have to add about the reframing is that I liked it when he felt he needed to say maybe not something that maybe someone might not like to hear, but he said it, he reframed that in a way the family was, happy to hear what he said.
Yeah.
It didn't get defensive, Jessica she really mellowed out at the end, and mom was a little defensive. You can tell by how she sat and stuff at first, and but they all seemed to accept what the therapist said, and not all of it was easy. I mean, some people would be afraid to say that to somebody, to suggest that, maybe looking at something a little bit different. I like that.
I liked that too.
Okay. So next is crediting positive intentions, which I feel like we've covered pretty well, which is just the idea that the therapist is trying to point out all of the good intentions behind everybody's actions.
Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I'm just getting a little feedback.
Okay.
So that was the only thing in that section I can think of. It's just that he took time for each person to point out that what they were doing was stemming from a good intention, but even though it was not coming across like
Mm-hmm.
I caught that.
And also, by talking about this alcohol and drug use that, they question. I don't know if Dad did, but Mom and his sister. And I would say that when he talked to them openly about why do you think, that Jimmy's using drugs or drinking, and then clarifying with Jimmy that he said, I'm not. And that changed a lot, because they knew that Jimmy's intention was not to hurt them. He said he leaves because he's upset. He doesn't want to hurt them. So, I don't know. I think we covered it really too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the next section is drawing our hidden resources and lost competence. The only thing I could think of in that section was that the father and son, they think alike, so the therapist kind of pointed out that maybe they should be the ones to kind of get a plan together because they're on the same level, whereas mom is way more emotional. So they didn't, and sister is way more emotional, so they didn't want, they wanted the two cool heads to work together to come up with a realistic situation.
That's good. Yeah. Because it's true that the dad and Jimmy were the least emotional in the situation. Yeah. I may like the resources. If I was Jimmy's mother, which I'm not, I would spend some time with him and talk with him about, do you have any interest in volunteering somewhere, like the Boys and Girls Club? He loves to skateboard. There's opportunities for someone his age to volunteer, and it could give him an idea, what's available for him for work. And I like it. The counselor or the therapist asked for them if they were interested in coming back, and they are. And I think that therapist could potentially be a great resource for the family.
I agree. I didn't really see anything else for that section.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I like how you pointed out, I know I didn't think about it, but like with his free time comes opportunity for him to get involved into good things as well as bad things. I didn't think about that, but that was a good point.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so next section is refocusing complaints to aims. So we remember that at the beginning of the session they were like, but in the end, everyone, including Judy, realized how important they were to one another.
Hey, Vicky.
Uh-huh.
When you're not talking, will you turn your microphone? Because
Yes.
your computer.
Where do I mute it at?
At the top of the screen, a little thing that pops up.
Okay, but it says that I'm muted. But I'm not.
No, if you click on it, it'll turn red. See, there it is. It's muted. And then you can click on it again, and it'll unmute it when you want to speak. Okay, because you're muted right now. I can see you're saying okay, but that way we don't get the feedback through your speakers. That's what's making it hard to hear each other.
So did you guys notice anything where it was like something that started off bad turned out good by the end of the session? Other than like they went in with no understanding for each other and came out with a whole lot more?
I guess the bad into good would be showing that the anger is an expression of love.
Okay. Vicki, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I would just add that, you know, that's true about that expression of love.
You want to
I'm what? Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I think that was great, that expression of love. But I think that one thing that they came out, which I thought was important, one, to meet together as a family. And they agreed to that. And then the second thing would be that there would be some individual time with Jimmy. And, you know, start building maybe not the same relationship, but a relationship with him instead of always fussing at him.
Okay. So we're at 8:15, which means we only have 15 minutes left. Do you want me to resubmit the Google document? We can go over the notes I took and make sure that it meets everybody's standards for turning in?
Yeah.
Okay, give me just a second. Okay, so let's click on that. Yeah. Okay, so I went ahead and put that Google document up. If you guys want to go over it, see if there's anything that you wanted to add more to or talk more about. Because this is what I plan on turning in. I'm not going to add any more to it.
Okay.
And it should be open edit, so if you see a spelling error or a punctuation error, you can fix it really quickly and it will save it.
I think I lost mine.
Did you want me to send it again? Did anybody see anything that they wanted to add?
I'm checking on something in one of the sections real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have anything else to add to the thing, so to the document. Vicky, you're muted. Were you just talking?
What is? Oh, now am I muted? No. Anyway, so I am sorry, you guys. I'm such a flake this week. But I don't have anything either. I feel like it's really thorough in answering the questions. And I think, that, I've enjoyed listening to your perspectives. And I think it's fine, Jessica.
Hey, Jessica, you're muted too.
Okay, I'll go ahead and turn it in like that. We're a little bit early. Does anybody have anything else they want to add?
No. Do you want me to send you the link for the video and then turn in the video at the time?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just send it to the school email.
Okay. And that means I need to stop broadcasting, so